Dun 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 Yes. Welcome back to the Triple XP Arcade, the podcast where nerd culture levels up. We're here to press X on all things nerdy, so grab a token, press start, and let's rack up some
Triple XP!
Today in the arcade, as always, we have myself, Drew.
Hey everyone, Lex is loaded in.
What's up? It's Gigs.
Hopefully that was just short of us being copyright blocked for Final Fantasy music. Ooh, maybe I'll have to edit out just a couple extra more seconds so we're under the safe window there. But we talked a little bit about if Marvel Tokon had Final Fantasy characters, who would they be? And Lex and Gigs had some picks there, and then it became glaringly apparent that my Final Fantasy exposure is pretty close to zero. And so we thought it could be a good opportunity for us just to give me a crash course education on all things Final Fantasy. So that's what the topic is today. I'm just going to sort of pick the Final Fantasy nerd brains here, and we're just going to see how we can get myself into the series finally after, 25 years of my first attempt, maybe even longer. So the first thing that, like, the whole reason this came up is I saw that we have sales going on right now for Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and the first thought that I had was, gosh, maybe I should play these games. And so my first question to you guys, Final Fantasy VII Remake versus Final Fantasy VII Remake Retrograde. What is the difference between those two?
It's just DLC basically. So I'm pretty sure Retrograde adds the Yuffie DLC, which is like a separate story and like a separate adventure, I guess we'll call it, like a short story with just Yuffie, and the rest of the Final Fantasy Remake game is still included.
I will correct that it's not retrograde, it's intergrade.
There you go. Thank you. I was like, something sounds wrong about this.
Yeah,
like Mercury is in retrograde. That's what that is.
Well, there's my lack of Final Fantasy experience already showing 5 minutes into the episode here. Intergrade, did you say? Intrograde.
Intergrade, yeah.
Intergrade. Intergrade, okay. I'm going to have to Google what that word means in the context of...
I don't think it's a real word. I'm pretty sure they made it up.
Oh, it's just like a word to make it sound cool?
I think so.
Okay, so DLC, and you get to play as Yuffie.
Yuffie. I mean, I called her Yuffie up until it was pronounced in, I don't even know, Advent Children, maybe? I don't even think they said her name in Advent Children, but like, until someone said it that was from Japan, I had no idea how to say it.
Okay. And then do either of you think that I need the intergrade version, or will just standard Final Fantasy VII Remake suffice for someone getting into it, let's say?
I would say standard would suffice.
Yeah.
Unless you want to learn more about Yuffie. I say Yuffie.
Yeah,
Yuffie?
I said Yuffie growing up too.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Unless you want to learn more about Yuffie's background, which the story is actually quite good. It's a pretty short DLC too if you want to like do the streamlined progression as well, and it's a very good story.
Is Yuffie like a character in your party without the DLC?
Eventually, she arrives in Rebirth.
yeah.
Okay. So you're getting a little bit of an extra story. You're getting kind of like a side. I don't know. Not a side quest, but like a side story plot.
It's more like a background story. It's like it just fleshes out her character, because in the original she was a secret character. So she wasn't. Yeah. So there wasn't that much about her until you finally get her. But in Intergrade, They kind of explore the part up until she meets the rest of the party.
Okay.
So they kind of flesh out that unknown bit from the original game.
Gotcha. Okay. So if you were to not get the extra integrate edition, you do get a chance to play her in Rebirth, is what I'm hearing, Lex. And so the second question for Rebirth, I see on sale now. There's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then whatever the additional deluxe premium intergrade, what extra fancy words version of this Super Saiyan 4 Mega Ultra Instinct package. For Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, what's the consensus on that? Have you both played it, first of all?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we
Definitely.
both kind of like binged it when it was released.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were like at the same time throughout the entire game,
Yeah.
too, which
We
was
pretty
pretty
much
Okay.
finished it like a week apart.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
even, I think.
Okay, so for the one that's on sale right now with all the digital deluxe extra stuff, what do you guys think? Is that one worth the extra stuff, or just kind of standard version Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Is that going to be worth it?
Standard should be worth it for you. The
Yeah.
digital deluxe edition just comes with a couple items that you don't get in the main game.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think you can get it, but later on in the game, so it just gives you that. And then I think it comes with like a digital art book and digital music as well, but you need a Square Enix account to kind of claim those items, and you can only view it on PC, so it's not worth it unless you're like a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah,
Got it,
totally.
Okay. And so the extra items that you get for the DLC content, they're not like, you don't get like extra stuff that makes the game easier or your characters stronger that like makes it worth buying it. This is just for like extra stuff if you're into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, like you can easily grind those items. I think it was like 10x potions or something lame like that. It's not really worth it. I think there's like a bangle, which is an accessory that you get, and like I said, you can get it later.
Yeah.
And so it's not like it doesn't really like help you too much, to be honest. It might save you a little bit of heartache at the beginning of the game if you kind of don't know what you're doing, but
Okay, but like long run, it's not going to give you like a huge advantage or make the game any less enjoyable if you don't have it.
No,
I
not
don't
at
think
all.
so. I don't think I
okay.
used any of the items, to be honest.
Okay, good to know. Next question. The ones that I'm both looking for, I saw on Deku Deals, that website sponsor us, Deku Deals. That's like a website that people are aware of, right? That's
I hope so.
I would say so. It's a fantastic website.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deku Deals, if anyone's not familiar, I use it all the time just to monitor Switch games that are on sale for the Switch. It'll tell you stuff like if something is on sale, if this is the lowest price it's ever been. It'll kind of give you time markers on like when it was previously on sale. Just a really good site just to keep track of things that you might be interested in. So I kind of do like every week I kind of do my window shopping on Deku Deals to see if there's anything worth picking up, and that's where I saw the Final Fantasy games here. Lex, I think you might have mentioned this. These Final Fantasy games I cannot play on my Switch, correct?
That is correct. It's Switch 2 exclusives.
Switch 2 exclusives?
Yeah, the games are so massive and so kind of like power hungry.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch definitely cannot handle that. Like, if you remember, you picked up Mortal Kombat 9 for Switch?
11.
11.
Oh, yeah.
And that was...
Yeah.
It looked like Mortal Kombat 1 SNES.
Worse. It looked worse.
It was, honestly, it was very shocking to see, because, again, a little bit of a detour. Mortal Kombat 11, for whatever you might have seen, on PS5, for example, no, that would have been for the PS5. Was that at the time? PS4?
I think it was PS4 still.
PS4, yeah. Whatever system it was on, Mortal Kombat 11 was maybe one of the best looking fighting games, maybe ever. Visually, like, I would say it even rivaled Mortal Kombat 1. Like, Mortal Kombat 11 just looked fantastic. And then they got for the Switch, and holy smokes, that looked like an entirely different game. I'm actually very surprised that they let that go. But yeah, the downgrade on the graphics for the Switch was insane. Okay, so similar to that, like you're saying, like if they were to put these Final Fantasy games on Switch 1, it would basically be like old school PS1 Final Fantasy 7 graphics is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much like 1996 style.
Yeah, with 5 frames per second or something.
Yeah, Pokemon Scarlet Violet style pre-update.
Okay, so then it's only on the Switch 2. What is the experience that you both have in playing these games on the Switch 2 versus the PS5? I'm assuming that you've tried it for the PS5, Lex?
I own this game on all the systems it's come out, both physically and digitally where available.
Physically, digitally, mentally, emotionally. You own
Yeah,
all the things everywhere.
Is
Yeah,
that
I have the
6
physical
copies?
PS4, PS5, this collector's edition PS5. I have the digital versions. I have the digital version on Switch. I have the physical versions on Switch. I have it on Steam.
Wow. This is more than one to stock, one to rock. What's happening here? Are you like preparing for a Final Fantasy VII apocalypse or something?
Yeah, exactly. I must collect them all like Thanos.
Just one disc on each of your fingers. So
Yeah,
funny.
exactly.
Fingers all spread out because they don't fit.
Gee, when the final one comes out, they're just going to be like, just send one to Lex already. Good Lord. He's already purchased this value of the game 3 times over in all of the other copies.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you have it on everything. How does the Switch 2 version compare, like performance-wise, graphics-wise, to the PS5?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah. So Final Fantasy VII, the remake intergrade, I guess, on Switch. When I first played it, I was actually blown away how great it looked on Switch 2. And that was actually the first game where I thought, like, okay, the Switch 2 can actually do some powerhousing here, because it was not only a mix of like the strength of Switch 2, because like a lot of people think it's like a lot weaker, but the way Square Enix kind of developed the game for the Switch 2 was impressive as well. Like they did something different than what they would typically do to make sure it runs really well. Like when I was playing it, I completely forgot I was playing Switch 2 at some points, because I'm like, this looks like the PS5.
Oh, wow.
And for context, I beat Intermission, which is the DLC content for Final Fantasy VII, like the Yuffie content. I never played that on the PS5, so when I was playing it on Switch, I'm like, this game looks so good. Like the battle system is very, very quick.
Okay.
I personally couldn't see any frame drops. I was playing it on TV mode the entire time, so the fact that it just ran that smoothly was very impressive.
Okay, and then what about in handheld mode?
Just as good. It looks even better because it's even smaller, so you don't
Wow.
kind of like pick up on the imperfections.
Yeah.
Yeah, like shockingly good. But I will caveat, the game size is astronomical.
Is it huge? How big is it?
It's 90 gigs for Remake, and then it was like 130 gigs for Rebirth.
Jeez. So like the
my
2
gosh.
games is like your whole internal memory. I can't
Yeah.
remember how big the Switch 2 stock is. Is it terabyte? 500 gigs.
256 maybe.
Oh.
Yeah,
256 and Final Fantasy VII Remake, you said, was what, 90?
90
Some-
gigs.
90 gigs? Whew.
Yeah.
Okay, so this feels like it's like if I buy it and play it, I'll have to delete it before playing Rebirth. If I
Oh yeah,
have
definitely.
space.
Yeah.
Okay.
There wouldn't be a point to install both of them anyways at that point.
Okay.
So you definitely want to start with Remake to
Okay,
kick things
okay.
off. Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. So performance wise, it's good. So would you recommend then getting the Switch 2 versions versus the PS5 versions, or is it kind of just, would you say, kind of user preference?
Honestly, I would probably go the Switch 2 version, like kind of like for your current lifestyle as a new father.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to pick it up, play it, then put it down, because you just have to literally turn it on, turn it off, and you don't have to like save or anything, right? It'll immediately save that state for you, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You can hold it while holding the bébé.
the bad.
Mobile is the way to go.
That's kind of what I found was kind of cumbersome with the PlayStation version, because Final Fantasy VII Remake was available as one of the free games in one of the previous months for PlayStation Plus, and I've been playing it, or trying to play it, as I mentioned in the past, on the PlayStation Portal, which is fine. Like, right, it's a decent handheld version of it. But I actually do notice that there's a little bit of like lag when I'm playing.
Input delay.
Input delay, yeah. And then also the PlayStation 5, just it sounds like a vacuum going on in the house when I when I boot it up. Actually, with that in mind, though, because these games are like so power hungry, how does the Switch 2 like? Does it ever feel like the Switch 2 is in danger of like melting because of the power requirements?
Ooh. I played on TV mode mostly, but I never like once worried about, like, I played for a couple hours straight, so
Okay.
there was never any issues with like a loud fan or anything from what I heard, or there was like no heat concerns, so it was quite nice. But handheld mode, like, it'll definitely eat a battery way faster than anything else. Like, I would say like 2 hours is what you'll get out of it. But if you're just plugged in, then there's no concern there.
Okay.
Plus the fact that like you can play with like separate Joy-Con too is quite nice. Like, if you wanted to like hold your bebe with one hand, you can separate the other one and still like play the game, which is nice.
Okay. I think that, I mean, I started the episode off very specific because this was sort of I needed to do a pre-assessment with the group to see if I should be buying this. And I mean, a general consensus sounds like I should. So I'm going to buy these 2 games for the Switch. I'm going to dive into the Final Fantasy series there. But before I even think about diving into Final Fantasy VII Remake, I want to expand this episode to just kind of the Final Fantasy games as a whole, because I know both of you have played a ton of these. I've dabbled in 2 out of the how many?
2?
Jeez. 16 in the core series.
Yes.
And then all the spin-offs.
Yeah. Well, I guess. So I've tried Final Fantasy VII, I've tried Final Fantasy VI, and then I've played Final Fantasy XIV online with you guys a little bit, right? So again, this is coming from a perspective of someone who's not really followed the series. So I'm just gonna kind of pick your brains, like I said. First question: you said there's how many? Like 16 mainline?
Total.
16 total mainline.
16 numbered ones, yeah.
Yeah. You can phrase your question as a question.
Nice.
If you don't know that yet, that's the sound the Chocobo makes. Kweh.
Okay, question number 1. Are all of these mainline games like sequels of another? Like, is Final Fantasy 2 a direct sequel from Final Fantasy 1, etc., etc.?
Negative. None of them are connected, except for some of them which have like direct sequels to them, and they're numbered as such.
Okay, so this would be like an example of like Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X2?
Did you say X, dog? These are Roman numerals.
I'll edit that out.
Rocky I. Is that how you refer to Rocky 3? Is this how you roll?
Rocky Triple I. Does no one else refer to that?
I will say, though,
Rocky Iv with Ivan Drago? Because it's Ivan Drago, Rocky Iv. Yeah.
It's actually IV because he needs one in the movie.
Okay. Final Fantasy X too.
Yeah, exactly. I will say there has to be a caveat, because 11 and 14, while they're numbered, they're not solo single-player games like all of the rest of them. So they're kind of their own thing, right? Because those 2 are MMOs.
Oh, okay. So that's 11 and 14, you said?
Yeah, I feel like those are numbered Final Fantasies with an asterisk kind of thing.
Okay. Are there any like, you said they're kind of unrelated to each other. So Final Fantasy 1, entirely different game from Final Fantasy 2. Are there any main characters that have a through line throughout any that kind of link the games together? Maybe not, they're not related as direct sequels, but like what makes it so that Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 6, that they're Final Fantasy games if they're completely different games entirely? Do you know what I mean? Like, why are they both considered Final Fantasy games?
Lex, do you know?
Ooh.
I have an answer, but
I don't have an answer to that. Let's hear yours, Gigs.
so in general, all of the Final Fantasy games, the stories revolve around the use of crystals, or the lore kind of revolves around the use of crystals, which kind of makes it part of a Final Fantasy story. And how the crystals are involved kind of changes throughout a lot of them, but there's the use of crystals. And then in general, summons and espers kind of take a big through line through a lot of them as well.
Okay.
Like, I think the espers are in pretty much all of them, if I can remember correctly. And like how they're great, powerful beings is kind of like a general theme in all of them. But yeah, that's kind of like the main thing about it is crystals are a big thematic plot point.
If you have a stomach ache, hold quartz, that kind of thing. Crystals.
Totally. Geodes.
Okay, so there's kind of a, I want to say, how do you categorize that? Okay, there's kind of like a common thread in that, universe-wise or world-wise, these all happen in separate like universes entirely, also, or is it at least in the same world?
I think they're all separate, completely standalone things.
Yeah,
a few of them,
ones.
a few of them kind of sort of tie together. There's only like one world in which a couple games kind of sort of take place or borrow naming conventions from, and that place is Evilis or Evilis. I don't know how you say it, but it's God, I can't even remember what games particular. I know Final Fantasy 12 takes place in Evilis, and Final Fantasy Tactics take place in Evilis, and that is the same world, but completely different times. And then I might be wrong, but I feel like Final Fantasy 14, which is in Eorzea, is also in the same world as Evilis. I could be wrong though on that part.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna dive right into the big question here. I'm gonna start with you, Lex. Out of all of the games, give me kind of like your top three. List out your top three Final Fantasy games of all time. I want to know which are the main ones to hit here.
Oh, that's easy. 7, 6, and 9 for me.
Yeah. Nice.
7,
That's so
6, and
fast.
9. So fast.
Yeah.
Do you have a different list, Gigs?
Barely. Mine's 7, 6, and Tactics.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So Final Fantasy 7, we started the episode off talking about this a little bit. Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Rebirth is what we were talking about. Of course, the OG Final Fantasy 7 on the PlayStation 1, that was, what was it, like 1996, you said?
I think it's 97.
97?
97 sounds right.
Okay.
Final Fantasy 7, 1997. Yeah.
And so, Lex, so this is like your all-time favorite Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 7?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And just to clarify, are we talking about like the OG one from 97, or are you talking about like the Final Fantasy 7 Remake series that's out right now?
The remake series right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, to me it made everything so much better.
Okay, so here's, I think, is where I think myself and some viewers would like some education on this. I know this is kind of a loaded question, Lex. Firstly, what's the difference between the OG Final Fantasy VII and the remake, the Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth series that's coming out right now? What's the difference?
They expand on the world, and like they story build, they world build way better than the original. And the best way is, without doing like any spoilers, is the very first mission in Midgar is when you have to blow up the macro reactor. In the original, when you blow it up, you're like, okay, like, yeah, it's blown up. I've affected like maybe a couple blocks of like the slums here. But in the remake, when the scene happens, it's like it's more emotional because you see like you blew up like a part of the city, and then you can see like apartment buildings, stores, shops. People are like They've lost like family, they've lost kids. It's just like, holy crap, this is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like choking up a bit just thinking about that scene right now. It was like so shocking to me.
Exactly. They really make the weight of the actions that actually happened in Final Fantasy VII much more heavy, and like they give it way more text or context and like life.
Yeah, like in the first one, like the original, when it blew up, I thought you're like in a industrial district. Like there's nothing really around. It's just buildings and pipes and stuff. But then in the remake, you're like, oh my god, like
People
this is
live
like
here.
a literal like residential district that you just destroyed.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So just kind of builds the world a little bit better than the original one.
Yeah. They'll make like a fairly short couple lines of dialogue that were in Final Fantasy VII that were kind of like, important. They'll make that like a whole 31-hour segment because and they give it much more weight. Like the fact that the first game it's 45 minutes in the original game. It's really fast when you play it. But when you play Remake, which is that whole part of the original Final Fantasy, it's like it's a whole game. I can't remember like how long it took you to beat it, but my gameplay save on that one was easily like over 40 or 60 hours or something like that.
Yeah, easily.
Well, okay, so like the first sequence of the OG one is like the entire FF7 remake series, or not series, sorry, the Final Fantasy VII remake game. Like that whole game is just that first bit of the PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, the first bit is Midgar. So in the original, it's the first city you're in, and then from there you kind of like exit. Then you go to like the open world mechanic of the original. Remake is entirely Midgar, and then when you leave Midgar, that's when the game ends and goes into Rebirth. Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
actually
that, like, really expands on it.
Yeah, it actually recontextualizes a lot of the originals because when we were younger and stuff, that Midgar part was so fast that it didn't really hold a lot of weight to the rest of the game. But the fact that they made that a whole the whole like game into itself, it kind of gives you that impression that, oh, that was way more important than you probably thought.
Okay. Talk to me about the gameplay. The difference in gameplay between the OG PS1 and the Final Fantasy VII remake. What's different gameplay-wise?
Oh man, everything.
Yeah, it's like a wholesale. It's just a different game, right?
Yeah, the OG one is turn-based, so like your standard RPG, when you enter a battle, you choose your action and then it happens, and then rinse and repeat. The new one is action-based, so you're controlling your character around. You're actually like pressing buttons to use your sword. You can hit combos with it. But the cool thing with the remake is you can change it to turn-based if you don't want to do like the action part of the battles. So everything's moving for you, and then you kind of choose your action still, but it's just more cinematic heavy at that point.
Yeah.
Wow.
It does a lot of it'll do the movement control and stuff for you.
Okay. That's actually like very cool because when in the OG one, I remember because I've never really been a huge fan of turn-based games, as we know, right? But in the OG one, when you get into a battle and then you get the models of like Cloud and all of them, the fight part looks cool. And then you go to like the roaming part of it, and then they have these weird like weird like PS1 models with like no hands, and they're kind of like nubby, stubby characters that you're walking around with. So there's like a separation between explore mode and battle mode. And I always thought, gosh, if you could just play these characters in the battle mode, like kind of like a beat 'em up kind of game, it would have been super sick back in the day, right?
Agreed.
You didn't like the chibi models? I love those. They're so cute.
I think it was just so weird because like Cloud, the character Cloud, like his model looks pretty badass, honestly. And then you go to the chibi model version and you're like, oh, is this is that character? Like it looked so drastically different that it was like shocking to my eye.
I always kind of found that more of a nod and a remnant from like the original, like the old Final Fantasies, because up until 6, the overworld sprites were different from the battle sprites. That was always a thing. 6 was the first where they used the battle sprites as the overworld sprites, and then when they went to 7, it actually kind of went backwards, where it went different sprite for the overworld and then a more detailed one for battles.
See, I never knew this because the first one that I ever tried was 6. Okay, so in previous ones, 1 through 5, different models, was it similar? Sorry, was it similar that you're saying where like the battle models were like more detailed or look cooler than the overworld models, or vice versa?
Yeah, no, you nailed it. Yeah, the battle models were always, they're kind of like twice as tall and they're way more detailed, but they're pretty much always side profile.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. So Final Fantasy VII Remake, or this whole series or trilogy of games that's out now, full action style. So you're in there, you're actively fighting during these battles and stuff. So fair to say that that's like, for someone who's not as into the turn-based style, that's going to feel a lot more engaging. So I guess what I'm asking is, these games, I'm not necessarily playing a turn-based RPG feeling. Like, that's not what I'm going to be walking into in this trilogy of games, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
The really cool thing about the remake and rebirth is when they released it for Switch 2, they added streamlined progression to both of them. So it's a lot more accessible for someone who's not too interested in like battling. Like that's what I did for the intermission DLC. Mm-hmm. Like you can put you're always at max HP, max MP. You can always have your limit gauge full. You'll always get like 2 times experience, 3 times AP. You'll always have infinite money. So like if you just want to just enjoy the story, you can turn all of these on and just hammer through all the battles while you're following the story itself.
This feels like a cheat code. This is a standard option.
Yeah, it's just in your options menu. So if you want to be like, okay, I feel like I'm too powerful now, you can turn everything off and go from there.
And does it maintain your power? Like, let's say you're midway through the game and you're like, okay, I'm going to turn this off. Does it like reset everything, or do you stay at the power level that you're at when you turn it off?
Yeah, you'll stay at your level. So if I'm like level 70, like 40 minutes into the game, I'll be level 70 throughout the rest of the game.
Oh, okay.
There's also something called Head Start for both of the games too. So when you start the game, you'll start at like level 65 off the bat. So you don't even have to turn on all of these options because you'll already be like a tank at the beginning.
I could get down with that.
I feel like that takes away from the experience a lot because
exactly. But I think it's like if someone just wants to play the game because like the story is so good. The battle system's pretty.
Yeah, I feel like the battle system is really refined and very unique, and I feel like that would kind of take away from like the fun of it. Well, that's just my opinion, though. I think maybe like, gold would be okay, but
I was going to say I think it maybe it depends on the type of person too, because like I mean I don't know how hard these games are, but like that's the reason why I don't play like the Dark Souls games or Elden Ring, is because everyone just talks about how difficult they are and how you're like, you die with one hit all the time and stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't feel like I want to play this game then because it doesn't sound fun. So having the ability to, and again, if that's kind of the vibe that you're at, having the ability to kind of power up or give yourself a head start so that it's not necessarily that frustrating grind at the start to even feel like you're keeping up with the opponents, sounds like it could be good for like those kinds of folks, right? And then obviously being able to turn it off is kind of nice. Yeah,
like if anything, for me, I would turn on 2 times experience for like maybe the first hour, so I have a solid head start, but not something over exaggerated like 60 levels up. And then
I think that's a good strategy, Lex.
Yeah. And then like I don't want to start grinding for Gil.
That's one thing I hate too. I hate grinding for Gil. That's why I was like, the money doesn't actually sound that bad.
Yeah, like I like having the good weapons and just kind of continuing on versus like having to worry about my wallet because, you know, this ain't real life. I want to spend what I have.
Exactly. Our time is valuable, man.
Okay, so then last question on Final Fantasy VII. I know you mentioned, Lex, that this is kind of like the new versions are your favorite. Um, if I'm playing Final Fantasy VII, should I be playing the OG first so that I know the full story before going into the remake, or am I okay to just dive into the remake fresh?
Ooh, dive in fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fresh, okay.
100%.
You're not missing out much by playing the old one. I actually went back and started playing the old one after. Actually, I started playing it after Remake, and then I started playing it again after Rebirth. And it's it misses a lot that you get from the remakes, and unless you're really into the nostalgia part of it, it's not really going to live up to enough to try.
Wow, okay. So this one just really like takes it and runs with it and does it better and gives a better experience overall, you'd say. Okay.
Yeah. Because the best parts about the original and why everyone likes it so much is the characters in the story. And they do it way, way better. So there's not really a reason to go back unless you're just looking for nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah. Okay. Okay, talk to me a little bit about the third one coming out. So there's Final Fantasy Remake, Rebirth, and what's the third one that was announced?
Revelations.
I saw a little trailer for that. When was it? Summer Games Fest? Is that when they?
I think so.
Or was it somewhere else?
Yeah,
that was the one.
Okay. What was your guys' first reactions for Revelations? Because this is kind of the closure of the Final Fantasy VII story arc. My understanding is this is the 3 of 3 of the game, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what was your first reactions when you saw the trailer for that? We'll start with you, Gigs.
Oh, I didn't even watch the trailer. I have no interest because I already know the story. So it's not like... There's no hype for me because it's... Like, I already know how it looks because I played the other two. I already know... Like, there's not much that's going to be, like, going to hype me about it other than the fact that it exists.
Okay.
You don't
know? Did you watch the trailer?
Oh, sure did. Yeah, live. That was...
Is
great.
it? Are you going to be? Do you want us to like avoid trailer spoilers here for you, Gigs? In terms of like the gameplay?
No, I mean I already know everything. I really can't see a spoiler happening.
Okay, so Lex, what was it? Talk me through your reaction when you saw the trailer for Revelation. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Revelations. Yeah.
So
it's funny because when they had announced it, they announced the Street Fighter special guest Tifa.
Yeah,
and they brought the Square Enix producer or the director of Final Fantasy VII to that for the announcement. I'm like, why would you fly this guy in for like a 2-minute announcement? Right? And then he came back on stage. I'm like, oh no, is it happening?
Smart.
Yeah. The game looks phenomenal. They added like a couple new features to it as well. So you get the High Wind, which is your airship, like very, very early in the game. So you'll be able to traverse the world a lot easier as well. But the cool thing is, when you kind of exit your airship, everyone parachutes off, like they jump off the airship and then they parachute down, which is very cool.
Yes.
Fortnite.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, you're like Fortnite dropping like BR mode into the world.
Yeah, it's so cool. They added. I love costumes, so they showcased like you can change your gear in the game. I don't know how much gear there is, but for example, like Tifa was wearing a mage outfit, and that unlocked white mage power for her. And then she had like a little soundbite of like I'll make you proud. I'm like, oh, that's for Aerith.
Oh,
so it's like like it's just like little things like that. I'm like, that's so cool.
I heard about the job system, and it's very interesting because there was no job system in 7, so it's kind of interesting and weird that they decided to pull that system from, I don't know which, it's in a bunch of Final Fantasies but not all of them, and toss it into this one. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I mean, I've not played these games, but when I saw the trailer for that, I was like, holy smokes, like the only thing that I knew is that this is the third closing act of the story, but I was watching the trailer and I was like, holy smokes, this is like this doesn't feel like just a third game to like close out the story. This feels like there's new features, there's new stuff, there's new gameplay mechanics, and I was like, holy smokes, this looks sick. And I was actually watching with my wife, and as soon as the trailer finished, she turned over to me and she's like, should I be playing these Final Fantasy games? And I was like, I think so. I think yes is the answer. So that trailer is actually kind of what triggered my thoughts on like playing all of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth series. Cause I was like, gosh, this third one looks like it's going to be pretty sick. And I don't want to miss out on the hype of this. Right.
Yeah, agreed. I won't spoil anything, but the end of Rebirth was different than how the original went.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like extremely curious and excited to see how this wraps out now, because from that point on, I'm like, this is going to be a brand new like feeling for me, or a brand new like reaction. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, nice. And when does this one come out?
Spring 2027. I don't know if they gave a direct date yet, but the also good thing is it's a multi-platform release all at once, because the first two were PlayStation exclusive, so you can only play it on there for like the first 6 months or first year or something like that.
And then they finally released it on the other stuff.
Yeah. And then this one, they're releasing a PC, Xbox, PS5, Switch 2 all at once. So
nice.
I'll be buying all of them all at once.
Oh, goodness.
Is there like, I don't know if this was in the trailer or anything, but is there any like online capabilities to play with your friends in any of these games? Or is this exclusively just like single player experience games?
Single player. I don't think there's anything in the third one. Lex, would you know?
No, I think it's a single player experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It kind of always has been. But I don't really sure how that would work either. But because you're like a party, right?
That's true. Yeah. When we did this back in the day, it was like you pass the controller off to someone else
totally.
to select their menu items, which was, I know, at least there was some sort of participation, but passing the controller for someone to select, fight, and push A felt unnecessary, but at the time, that's what we had.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. We got a lot into Final Fantasy VII. I don't want to go over time too much, but you both said Final Fantasy IX was the second one on your list. I don't know anything about Final Fantasy IX. I don't know the characters. I don't know the gameplay, anything about it. Let's spend the next few minutes. Talk to me about Final Fantasy IX. Why is this the second pick for both of you? No.
It was 6.
Just Lex.
6.
Yeah.
9 was the second pick for me. Yeah, but 6 was on both our lists.
Okay. Let's come back to 6 in a second here, because I have tried playing 6 before. So Lex, talk to me about 9 first. Why is 9 third on your list?
I think it's number 2, actually. I would go 7, 9, 6.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About it. Yeah. Final Fantasy 9, it was the story again, and the music. It's some of the best music I've heard in a Final Fantasy game, and then the story was very different from everything else that I've played in the past. Like, you know how Final Fantasy VII, it's like you're the hero, you're taking down the villain itself. This one was a lot more like the character design looked very childish, if I'm being honest. But then the story was very dark, and it dealt with like a lot more mature subjects like mortality, cloning. It was just sad. Overall.
What do you mean the character design was like childish? Like they looked like cartoony, like bubbly, like penguin characters or something like that? Or
That's actually a great way to put that.
Yeah, like they don't look like your standard like human being.
Yeah, they went stylized. So, 7 kind of tried to do realistic-ish.
Yeah.
8 really tried to do realistic. And then 9 went back to like not fun, I guess. Yeah, like stylized. The people they're like actual characters that someone designed and not just a person.
Okay.
Think like a Disney character or like a DreamWorks character or something like that.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. It was, everything about it was great. Like, I think Vivi was one of the characters that I chose for my Marvel Tokon or Final Fantasy fighting characters.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe he's one of the best written characters across Final Fantasy in general.
So sad, his story.
Yeah. He has like an amazing story. He has amazing, like he's the black mage design. So like the really tall hats, the gold eyes, and like just unknown like body face and everything like that. That's his style, but like his story was so crazy.
Is he the main character of Final Fantasy
No,
IX?
he's like secondary character.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's one of the main cast, but not the main protagonist.
Okay.
Yeah, his story was amazing. I've never felt for a character like that before, and like this was during like the PS1 days, right? When I thought Final Fantasy VII was amazing. When Final Fantasy IX hits, I think I put more hours into 9 than I put into 7 back in the day.
Really?
Honestly, I believe it. There's so much more to do in 9 too.
Is 9 also turn-based, like OG Final Fantasy VII?
It is, yeah. It's turn-based completely.
Okay. Okay, so story, music, characters, I think, is characters a big factor for you, Lex? Like, were all the characters in Final Fantasy IX really memorable for you also?
Yes, 100%. There's gonna be like one or two where you're like, I don't really care for them. And I think that's like it throughout almost every RPG you play.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Final Fantasy IX has like a cinematic, like I won't spoil it, but it's Alexander versus Bahamut, and that's the first Final Fantasy where you see like summons or like Espers. What else are they called, gigs? Espers, summons.
Yeah, Espers, summons. I think we know them as Espers because of 6, but
yeah, that's the very first time you see summons fight, and you're like, holy crap, this is
Epic scale.
much more
epic. They 9 really fleshed out summons as like a grandiose thing, whereas in all the other ones, they're more of just like a combat mechanic, and you don't think about them too much. But 9 leans into it lore-wise, and like said, I had no idea that like Alexander was like that until 9.
Yeah, me too. In all the other ones, Alexander just comes in and, I don't know,
He does
his light beam and that's it. But then in 9, you see his strength and power. I'm like, okay, this is actually the coolest summon I've ever seen.
Wait, the summon's name is Alexander?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Bias.
Bias. Okay, all right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like I would have heard or seen something about Final Fantasy IX, but I just wasn't into that kind of thing at the time. So outside of Final Fantasy VII, I've really been blind to the series, but that's really good to know. Switching gears over to you, Gigs, Final Fantasy Tactics, you said was your other pick other than Final Fantasy VI, right?
That's my personal number one.
That's your personal number one.
I didn't really like order mine. Those are like my top 3 in general, but Tactics is my favorite.
Okay, talk to us a little bit about Tactics. From what I know, Tactics doesn't play the same as other Final Fantasy games. Is that right?
Right. It's a grid-based tactical RPGs, which is, I guess, I don't know what would have started it, but there's a bunch. Fire Emblem is kind of one of the big ones that people know in terms of that style. Tactics Ogre is another popular one. Pretty much anything that's like modern day strategy cover shooter kind of do a grid-based tactical thing. XCOM, for example.
XCOM, right? Okay.
So yeah, it's Final Fantasy's version of a tactics game, and one, I prefer that kind of combat. It's much more involved and quite literally tactical. You have to think about it a little bit harder because things like elevation, distance, location, all of that come into play, ranges, and all kinds of stuff.
So you're not just like pressing A to attack. You're having to plan things out. Like, would you say? I want to say equivalent to like a chessboard.
Yeah. You position your character like you want your archers high up. Like these are some basic like ideas, right? You want your archers high up. You want your front line facing a certain direction, right? Because you don't want people to hit them from the side, all that kind of stuff. And you have to consider, okay, the enemy might move here, or they might cast a spell in this spot, so I have to make sure that I'm not there. That kind of stuff. So there's a lot more involved in the battles. And then the one thing that I was really into, there's actually 2 other things, is Final Fantasy Tactics had the best implementation of jobs, in my opinion.
Okay.
For that, again, there's not all Final Fantasies use the job system, but Tactics was my favorite implementation of it because you have all of your skills from your main job. You can choose a second job which has an additional set of skills, and then you can learn reactions, movement, and one additional command from your job. So it's like you can really customize all of your characters. And I really liked that. And then the last thing is just I like Final Fantasy Tactics story more than other Final Fantasy Tactics, just because it's more for a lot of it was grounded in politics and like politicking, things to do with like who has proper, what do you call it? Not jurisdiction, but like blood rights for a crown and all that nonsense. And then the different factions of this world that are fighting to get control of a country or of Evilus and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of intrigue, and then it kind of gets a little weird near the end, but in general, the major through line is that it's more political, and you kind of follow that story from someone that is born into like a highborn family, but is trying to do the right thing. Whereas a lot of other Final Fantasies are like a hero of light or something is overcoming some large evil force. Yeah. So that was kind of my thing. Yeah.
So then in Final Fantasy Tactics, are you playing as a main protagonist, or are you controlling like a fleet of people?
You have a squad. Throughout the whole length of the game, your whole, I don't know, caravan? I don't know what you call them, but you can have up to, I think in the remake they let you have up to 50 units, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, and then a lot of them are, or I shouldn't say a lot of them, but like some units are named units, which are basically like they have story relevance. They're not just some generic jobber. Yeah, and then you can recruit them, and then you kind of, they have special abilities that you can't get from other jobbers, and yeah. Right. But in general, there's one main protagonist.
But you're managing Ramza. So you're managing 50 potentially. This sounds like StarCraft. Like
No. In a single battle, you only use 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like Lex will not enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. It gets tougher at the end because it's like you can't pick all of your favorite like units or your favorite characters because you only have 5 slots in a battle, and there's like 10 that I really, really like. But,
I see. Okay. So you have to kind of mix and match based off of what the battle requires.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. Got it. Okay, cool. All right. We're coming up on time here. I want to talk a little bit about Final Fantasy VI. Not too in depth, though. I think we've sort of briefly touched on Final Fantasy VI in some previous episodes, but that is on both of your top 3 list. I'm just curious, kind of the quick elevator version. What about Final Fantasy Final Fantasy VI is better than the other Final Fantasy games like 1 through 5 that came before it? Let's start with you, Lex. Give me your perspective on that.
So I beat Final Fantasy VI recently for the first time ever, just this past December.
What?
Ever?
Yeah.
I thought you beat it before.
No, I've never beaten this game.
What? That's
not
crazy.
once. I've watched people beat it.
How have you? How? What is? How? What do you? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? You only just beat it.
I've never beaten this game before. Like when we had it when we were kids, my brother played it a lot, so I never got a chance to play it. We never owned it, so I never got a chance to play it. And when we moved up to the N64, and we just never got a chance to own that game because it was so expensive at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what made you want to come back to beat it this past December?
It was just a game that I chose to beat. So I started it actually December 2025 as my game of the month. But at one point in the game, my character wakes up 1 year later, so I decided to wait 1 year to continue the story.
Beautiful.
That's how you play video games.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
full immersion.
Yeah, exactly. But to me, what makes the game so great is I think Kefka is the villain of the game. He's probably the best villain I've ever seen in a video game.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Beats out Sephiroth, beats out anyone. He's the Thanos of the video game world, in my opinion.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
I mean, he kind of, I can kind of see that.
Wow,
Yeah.
Kefka.
Yeah, he's just like evil. It's weird. He's a very interesting character because he's like Joker in the sense that he just does evil stuff for fun.
Just for fun? Yeah. Okay. He's just an evil guy.
Yeah,
He's
and
not-
he goes he thinks of like some crazy plots and then really goes and does some crazy stuff.
Okay, so he's not like one of these redemption characters where it's like they're doing bad things for good cause. He's just like an evil guy doing bad things because he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Like the most
Okay.
popular scene for him is when he poisons a water supply. So that's like
Okay.
a common thing known about Kefka.
Yeah.
He poisons a water supply to kill men, women, children, literally just to speed up a siege. Like he's like, I'm bored. I want this to go faster. So he poisons it. He kills his own comrades. He kills his emperor. He absorbs power of the gods. Like he just goes.
He just goes
Nuts,
down.
yeah.
Yeah. No
Yeah, because
remorse.
he's just bored.
Yeah, he's just an evil person.
I feel like the limited amount that I've played, this sounds funny to me actually, because I know in the limited experience of Final Fantasy that I have, I remember Kefka in the little bit that I've played, and his little character sprite is like
Yeah.
not menacing.
His laugh.
You
That's
know,
perfect.
laugh. Yeah, that's like he just looks like a little cute little character sprite, but it's crazy to hear how evil he is as a character. Wow. Okay. And then Gigs. So same question for you. Final Fantasy VI. What about that has that stand apart from? And the reason why I ask is just for context for everyone. Final Fantasy VI looks the same to me as 1 through 5. Like in terms of gameplay visuals, they all kind of look like the same game, and they're all turn-based games. So there has to be something that makes it stand out a little bit more. If you know what I mean, right? So what about 6 stands out for you?
Well, first of all, I think once you actually compare them, 6 is a huge upgrade in terms of its presentation and its graphics. Even though it's all on Super Nintendo, except for the first few. The difference in quality is actually enormous going from even 4 to 6, which were the American releases of 2 and 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
But my main thing and why I like 6 so much is because there's not really a main character. There's a couple main protagonists, arguably, but in general, all of your party members have their moment, and like it's more about the whole I don't know, squad, I guess. It's like all of these people coming together rather than an individual kind of pushing the story along.
Okay.
So that's why I liked it so much, is because it didn't revolve around necessarily one individual. And so you kind of really get to like every single character for their own reasons. And it really fleshes out everybody. And and then the battle system was just really good.
Kind of gives that world building vibe of like getting everyone's perspectives on what's going on in the story and not being tied. That's I find that's something that can be tricky with some of these RPG games. Is if you have to be the main character and you're not invested in the main character and you're stuck with them for the entirety of the game, makes it kind of less immersive for you, right? Versus in 6, you can, like you said, kind of spread out who you're mainly tied to because you get all those different perspectives.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. we're coming up on time here, so I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire some quick questions just to close us out. Final Fantasy VI, does Drew play this? Yes or no? Recommendation wise.
Oof. No.
No.
My opinion, no.
No. Lex, what do you think?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I would play it with the streamlined progression. So Final Fantasy VI, if you were to pick up the Pixel Remaster Edition for Switch, in the options menu you can go like 2 times experience, 10 times experience. So you can like blaze through the game, and if you just want to like, you can turn off encounters, so you can literally just run across the world as fast as you can, get to the story, continue playing, and just learn about the story itself, and like just understand why is Kefka so bad. And
yeah.
Okay.
That's great, Lex. I forgot about that feature. That changes my answer. Yeah.
So with that in mind, Gigs, you say yes, I should play it?
Yeah, because to me, I know you, and I know that your biggest obstacle for playing these kind of games is the sludge.
Yeah.
Or the friction. So, yeah, the fact that Lex, thanks for remembering that. I totally forgot. It removes a lot of the grindiness from the game and the frustrating parts, where especially if you're like running through a dungeon and you're like, I just want to get to the save point, or I just want to do the story, and you keep running into random battles. That is annoying, and I think that's good that you can turn that off.
Okay. Follow-up question. Should Drew play Final Fantasy VI before jumping into the Final Fantasy VII Remake games?
No.
No from Lex. What do you think?
I'd say no. I agree with Lex.
Okay, so remakes first, and then Final Fantasy VI maybe another time when I want to scratch that Final Fantasy itch and I'm all caught up.
Yeah, I would like, because you don't like turn-based RPGs. 6 would be way lower on the list, so I would honestly treat 6 like a visual novel for you. Like, you want to play it just to read the story and continue and not worry about the gameplay mechanics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. You can only recommend one Final Fantasy game to someone who's never played, who has no experience. Think of someone like, here we go. Let's say my wife. She's interested a little bit in kind of the Final Fantasy universe. She's aware of that this is a thing. What one game do you recommend to someone like that?
That's a chin scratcher. I'm going to go with 14.
14, the MMO.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 14.
Okay, quick version, or quick explanation. Why 14?
I think that just covers a lot of people's interests, and it gives them the freedom to pursue something in the game that they actually like. The story is good, and it has a lot of callback to other Final Fantasy games. So if you get into something, it gives you a little sneak peek as to character designs and worlds and names and stuff from other Final Fantasies. Yeah,
that makes it quite literally like an open world MMO. So you can just like go and do stuff and feel. Well, actually, that's the one little bit of exposure that my wife has, is playing Final Fantasy 14 online, and was happy just to go in and push buttons and do stuff and feel satisfied with that. Yeah. Okay, I like that. Lex, what do you think? One game to someone who has no Final Fantasy experience, what do you recommend?
14 was a good one, Gigs, but I would go with 7 Remake.
7 Remake.
Yeah, especially now that they made so many accessibility options, you can literally enjoy the game without having to worry about the difficulty of it or grinding or any of that stuff there.
Okay.
That's true. Okay. That's true. I agree with Lex. I kibosh my answer.
Lex, you're on this convincing streak, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, time is so limited these days. The fact that you add streamlined progression to these types of games makes it way better, because some people don't have time to grind an 80-hour game. If you can beat it in 20 hours versus 80, I'm all for that at that point, because people say the story's good. I'm down to play it if I can do it in 20 hours, not 80 hours or 100 hours.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, next question. all games, all series, all properties, everything. Who's your favorite Final Fantasy character of all time? Lex?
Tifa.
Come on.
Yeah,
Wow.
Tifa,
Surprise.
no surprise.
Yeah.
No surprise. Gigs?
Boring. No, just joking.
Gigs is Tifa.
I don't think I have one, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I can't really think. No, I can't really think of one character that is like my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, I take that back.
Equal.
Well, when I was younger, I liked
Tifa.
Yuffie. No, Yuffie. Yuffie was my favorite.
Okay.
But I mean, my opinion's changed now that I'm older and the game has been redone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, surprisingly, it's a hard question. Like my answer wanted to be Vivi, but he's older and they haven't expanded on him yet. Versus they expanded Tifa's story a lot more, so that's the main reason she won.
Mm-hmm. I used to like Terra a lot from Terra and Rydia from the older games, and then I really liked Lightning from 13. But there's just so many characters that it's hard.
Yeah. Because you get a brand new set of characters in your party each game, like you said, right? They're all separate from each other, so you get a whole new party each time. Opposite side or opposite side of that coin, who is the worst character? Last question of the day. Who's the worst character of all Final Fantasy games in your perspective? Let's say playable character, like not like Kefka or like someone who's, in the story but not playable. Who's the worst playable character in your opinion? Lex, we'll start with you.
Ooh, that's a hard one. Off the top of my head, without thinking too much about it, I would say it's Quina from FF9.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Quina from that's your pick, 2 gigs?
Yeah, if you Google a picture, you'll know exactly what we mean.
Quina. That's
the
character's name?
She brought down or they, I should say.
Yeah.
They brought down my ranking of FF9 by 1 level.
Yeah. Totally fair, honestly.
Like it's not like a terrible character, but it's just like they could have made that one so much better if they put some more effort into it.
It's very weird. It's just like they did well with some of the other, we'll call them off the cuff or stranger characters, but Queen was like a huge whiff. Like Amaranth was cool, and Freya was cool.
Okay, I lied. There's one more question that just popped into mind. This last question, and then we'll close it out. You have to cosplay as one character from the Final Fantasy series. Who do you cosplay as? Gigs, start with you this time.
Kate Sith.
Kate Sith? What?
Kate Sith, but
Kate
just the
Sith.
doll.
Kate Sith.
Kate Sith.
I'll have to Google that one. Kate Sith.
Yes, but just the doll.
Just the doll. Okay. Lex, you got to cosplay as one character. Who's your pick?
Do I have like unlimited money to make the character as cool as possible?
The what?
Like I have like unlimited funds to make this character like a perfect 1-to-1 cosplay.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, this is legit. Looks like licensed character.
Yeah, I mean, you can say Tifa if you want.
No, my answer would be the Moogle.
Oh, but which Moogle?
Just the standard Moogle, like not like the newer ones. But I want to look like the Moogle, like how you see like the mascot Pikachu, like just a big bubble.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Have his
I
little
don't see a lot of that.
around.
I feel like I should see more of that cosplay, but maybe it's difficult to do because of
it's a children-only size kind of thing.
I think that's a great one, though, Lex. I would love to see you in a Moogle cosplay.
Right? Yeah. It'd be fantastic. It'd be a blast.
All right, folks, that's a wrap for us this week on the Triple XP Arcade. We always love hanging out with you in the party, so please leave a comment below and let us know what your favorite Final Fantasy game is if you've played the series, and if not, based off of our discussions today, what Final Fantasy game are you most interested to maybe take a look at, give it a try on your own. Be sure to follow us on socials so you don't miss a drop of the new episode releases every single Friday. Until then, game on, stay nerdy, and remember, you always level up faster at the Triple XP Arcade.